welcome to the Twin Life podcast. If you don't know, I guess we have an intro, but I'm Ashley, and that's Amber over there in
Yeah,
Atlanta. Yes, and
because since you're watching us, I guess you don't know which one's which, right?
yeah, I guess that's true. If you're listening, you heard our intro, but if you're watching, I'm Ashley. That's Amber, and yeah, we are obviously your hashtag Twin Life podcast hosts. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit the bell so you're notified anytime there is a new episode. And I guess
Share.
that's it. Oh yeah, share, please share with
Yeah.
everybody, and and also leave a comment and stuff so that that algorithm we got to get it working. So kind of work in our benefit. Okay, ready?
We ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, twin.
Hello, twin. What's up?
Oh, nothing. Just melting here in San Diego.
Okay, so I heard that there was like rolling blackouts in California this like Friday, where like a million people in California had no power or something ridiculous.
So I'm sure that was probably in Los Angeles because it's been, how I don't know what it is about like when there's like a heat wave, it like knocks out the power. But and there's also been fires. So between the fires, blackouts, it's been super hot. I mean, even in San Diego, we're 20 minutes from the beach and it was 89 degrees. On Friday, it was 92 degrees, which if you're in any other part of the country, you're probably like, oh my gosh, that is not even hot. But when it's normally 75 degrees, maybe.
Yeah, that's a heat wave for San Diego.
It's hot. And we live in an apartment. I live in an apartment that has like all these windows. Amber knows this. Like we have all these windows, and like it doesn't matter how many windows I close, it's just hot. So AC is working overtime. Here. Yes.
Yeah, I read about it. I read about it in the news that there was just, I guess we were used to it because this time of year when we were in high school is the time where like they would warn us about power outages at school, and like there was one time we were in class and literally the power went out on the entire campus. So it's kind of a thing where like the generators overheat and stuff in California, so they're like really cracking down the energy saving and like everybody not using their energy all at once and whatnot. So
yeah,
great. On top of everything else that's going on, rolling blackouts in California. Great.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's great here. We're just, let's see what's going on. What went on this week? Nothing really. Derek's been doing really good with his work. Phoenix is doing good in school. He's in the Spanish immersion program. So he's been coming home and singing. They learned about their families. So he's been talking about La Familia and Los Coroles and like all these things. He's been walking around the house talking about singing the Colors song. And so it's pretty freaking cute. So it actually makes me feel good because I feel like the $1,000 a month that we're paying for him to go to this program is working. So that's something.
That's good.
Like, him picking it up and learning it and stuff. And he's also started to kind of read stuff, which is kind of random. Like now he's like spelling out things and like reading it. So far we've learned stop, Prime, like Amazon Prime, Prime.
Okay.
And there was another word that he read the other day. Off. O-F.
Okay.
O-F-F. F-O-X. F-O-X.
If you have never seen You've Got Mail, watch
that
it.
is a
that is
reference
a
right there.
Yes.
F-O-X.
F-O-X.
So yeah, but what's been going on there?
Well, I guess some really good stuff, like things that are kind of like in the next month or so, everybody will really start to get to see the benefits of everything. But a couple cool things that I got to do this week. One, I had to test drive a freaking Tesla this week, which you've never driven one. It's like driving.
You got to
spaceship.
drive it?
Yeah, I got to drive it. So Blake drove the car one. I don't remember. They're all letters. The one I drove was the X, which is like the SUV version. Blake drove like the high-end like sports car one, which I think is the Z. I don't know. They're all letters. There's only 4 types of Teslas. I've learned all about Teslas this week. So anyway, so I got to drive the X, which it has like, so if you know what a suicide door is, suicide doors go like this. These doors like come out. Okay, you can't see me, so I'm going to describe this. If you're listening to us, you have to Google how the Tesla doors open, but they literally open up on the side.
They go straight up.
Yeah, they go straight up, which
instead of like up. So like the
instead of
suicide
up
doors
and
open
out
out like wings.
Yeah.
And the other doors just open like they like just kind of like squish and go straight up, kind of.
Yeah,
It's weird.
these go. Yeah, it's weird, but it doesn't. My concern was every time I'm about to open this door, look, I'm gonna be worried I'm about to take someone's
You
mirror off
won't.
or hit somebody. No, there's so much less space. Like it uses less space than this to open the door, so I'm less likely to ding things. When I'm trying to get landed in the car, I'm not like sideways squishing. If you ever try to get a car seat in a car or your child in a car, you are like this, and then
And
at the
somebody
condo,
parks too close next
or
to you.
somebody
like, you
parks
park
too
with
close, and you're
space.
like, well, looks like my kid's getting in on. I'm putting you in from the back side of the car, or like from the
Yeah.
passenger seat. Hopefully, you can lock yourself in the seat.
Yeah.
So it was super cool. So I got to do that, and Blake and I really like it. It's got some super cool features. Not going to give like the whole Carfax on the Tesla, but it's pretty cool. Like my favorite things about it were it drives itself. It literally does the whole like autopilot situation where it literally, you're holding the steering wheel and you don't even have to turn it. You will feel it turn itself and like follow GPS, and like it does alert you because you have to be touching the steering wheel. Like if you really take your hands off the steering wheel too long, the car will literally yell at you. Another thing too is like on the dashboards where the GPS or where the map is, like there's a big giant screen that's like a giant iPad. And then on the behind the steering wheel is the screen also, and like on the left there's the GPS. And in the middle is a screen that I've never seen in a car before, where it shows you all the cars that are going by you and next to you. It knows all the cars around you. So you're literally you can look at that and know what cars are behind you, next to you, in front of you. It's crazy. And then you can also see the freaking stoplights. It has the car, if you set that, you can make this setting to where your car slows down at stoplights. So when it sees a red light or a yellow light, it'll slow down and it'll stop at the red light. It'll stop literally at the line. It's nuts. I was like, Blake's like, this car's no fun. I don't get to drive this. It drives itself. It was literally driving itself. It had this feature on there, which I thought you would think was hilarious. It has a karaoke in the car feature. And it has a Disney Channel on it. So Blake and I were singing the Moana song. It literally comes up on the screen and it's karaoke. It has the freaking words on it. It's just the music. It has it's singing the words too, like it's the song, but it has like
the words.
Yeah, like the sing-along song albums they did back in the day, the DVDs. Yeah. I was like, what the heck? I was like, it's got stupid stuff that you're just like, no one thought of this. Like, why?
But that's like a very family car-ish. Because like when you think of like high-end cars like that, you don't think of like family cars.
I mean, when you don't have to use
impractical
gas, when you don't have to use gas ever, like I was telling Blake, I was like, I mean, gas is super inexpensive here. It's like $2 a gallon in freaking Atlanta. Less than $2 a gallon
but
in most places.
But electric charging is like 15 cents or something.
It's depending. There's certain packages. So like you could get, so for Blake, he's gonna have unlimited charging. But you charge it once, it's 300 miles for a charge. So it's not more expensive than gas by any means. No more expensive.
No, it's less expensive. Way less expensive.
It's significantly less expensive. And especially if you get, what we're going to do is we want to get one of the charging docks in the house so that we just charge at the house. That's it. You just plug it in when you get home and it charges and you never get gas.
But the only difference with that is like in San Diego, in Atlanta, that might be practical, but in San Diego, we have the highest rates of electricity. So we're getting charged like $35 a kilowatt or 35 cents a kilowatt. Whereas if you were charging your car at a Tesla station, like, because you charge it at your house, it's going to show up on your electric bill, right? If you charge at a Tesla station, you're going to pay like, they have like 7, 10, 15 cents like charges that you can like pay or whatever, like based on how much you charge it. So like to me, I would charge it at a charging station unless we had solar panels, because it doesn't make sense. Now, if we lived in Texas, where electric bills are freaking cheap, or Atlanta, like, yeah, of course I'd charge my car at my house. But here, unless you have solar panels, you're about to have like $1,000 electric bill charging your Tesla. And I know this because Derek has like people that like have Teslas, and they ask, like, they want to get external, because you can buy like batteries, because Tesla has batteries, but they're not really practical for people's houses. So with his company, like, you can buy a battery and people will put the batteries in their house, they'll charge the battery, and that's what they'll use to charge their Tesla. So like, it's the solar panels will charge the battery and they'll charge their Tesla off that. So it's not like directly plugged into your house.
I'm sure at some point Tesla will have solar powered charging stations, if they don't already, because especially in a city like San Diego.
Yeah. Well, because Target has the whole Tesla charging area. I saw
So,
like
yeah.
4 or 5 people charging.
Yeah, the Lenox Mall has one. All the Targets just built theirs. Like, is it open now? The one with like this
It's
20
open. People are
freaking
using
strips.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they were using it for COVID. It was funny because when they first opened it, they hadn't opened the Tesla charging stations, and they turned it into a COVID testing kit. Yeah, it was like the whole strip. But anyway, so that was cool. The other thing was that we got a kitty named Louie.
Louie,
We got a kitty.
He's so cute. You have to take a picture of him and post him on the Twin Life podcast page.
Yeah, I will post
So
a
people can
picture
see
of
our new friend.
little baby Louie. He is 6 weeks old, and I don't know. Blake and I were both like, I was telling Blake, I was like, all the animals we get are just like teeny tiny. Like, we've known Copper literally since he was like born, like literally born.
Before he was born.
Well, right. I mean,
because you know his
yeah,
mom.
we know the mom. The mom was living with us, so yeah. So we've known Copper his entire life. And then we also have, then Louie he's a tabby, but he's not an orange tabby. He's like a regular like gray tabby. And there was actually a couple cats that we really liked. Like, I obviously was drawn to like the really cool looking cats, and there was one cat that was super cool looking. It had kind of like what are the wild cats called? The big. I can't remember the color right now.
Yeah. Bengal?
No, not the big cats. Like the ones that are smaller. That are like,
I know,
big, look kind of like giant.
I know, and they have
cats.
like pointy ears.
Yeah, they have pointy ears. I can't remember what they're called. But anyways, it kind of looked like one of those. And so I was like, oh, he's so cute. And then we got him in the room and he was like terrified of Landon. I was like, this is not going to work. So he like took off and I was like, okay, that's not going to work. And then the other one wasn't going to be available for another couple weeks. So we could have waited a couple weeks and gotten that one. But I just thought the other one was like cooler looking than this one. But Louis is super sweet and he is tiny. Like, he's less than a pound. Like, he is teeny tiny little kitty. Copper is doing well. He's actually loves the cat. He like loves to lick on him and nuzzle him, which Louis doesn't really like that much. Yeah, but he's not trying to he's not aggressively trying to eat Louis or like hurt him or anything. So all of his attention he's giving to Louis is all love, but he's giant. Like, Copper is like 60 pounds and his kitty is less than a pound. So, but it's been fun. Landon he loves the cat so much. He was literally laying next to the cat, like, we took a picture. I may post a picture in the story of Landon laying with the cat, and the cat's back on Landon, and they're both sleeping on the bed. He just lays the cat and just stares at the kitty. He'll pick him up.
I think I
can't wait till Bean gets a kitty.
Because Phoenix loves Sansa, like, to play with Sansa, but Sansa doesn't like want to snuggle him. Like, Phoenix wants to like he wants Sansa on his bed. He wants Sansa to like sit next to him and put her. She will not do that. Like with me and Derek, she will. But yeah, exactly. So I think that's why, because he just knows that like the cat will just like snuggle him and like, you know what I mean? Because cats love that. They want to be like right. They want to sit on you. Yeah. Yeah, so
that's one of the things I like about cat. Like, it's weird because I told Blake, I was like, why did I not get a cat when I was 20? Why did I think that getting a dog was a good idea? Because
I don't know.
Because I like to Belle liked to snuggle me, but she was so but she would lick me, which I hate. Like, I want to just pet you and you snuggle me and don't lick me, don't paw at me, don't just sit there and let me pet you. And she would not do that. Copper doesn't do that either. So,
excuse me.
Anyways, I was tired.
Oh, yes, sorry. So we went to your class today, and I'll say this one thing and then we have to move on, but I hurt my back this week doing F45. Not like a major injury, but it was definitely like which I didn't know this until they told me, but like, it's like, I'm used to like pushing through like discomfort when I'm working out. And so my back was starting to be like uncomfortable, and I was starting to get annoyed because like I wasn't able to lift as heavy as I wanted to continue with the exercise as much as I wanted to because my back would start hurting. So I was like, F this, I'm just going to keep going. And of course I kept going, and I got to the point where like if I even bent over, my back just like cramped. I was like, awesome. So I finished the workout with modifications, and then I went home and I literally iced it. I went and picked up my hair because I'm getting my hair braided tomorrow. I went and picked up my hair, and I drove in the car with an ice pack on my back. Like, she was like, whatever you do, don't go home and sit because then you won't be able to get back up. So like I was like sitting, but then I was just like pacing around the house. I went out for a walk with Phoenix, walked Sansa for a long time. I like walked a lot, just so that I wouldn't like find myself just sitting on the couch because I was like, I don't want to wake up tomorrow and like not be able to stand up. So I felt great the next day. And I feel great now. It's just, I have to be more aware, like, okay, your lower back is like a sensitive area. Like, just don't,
Yeah,
hurt
my
it
lower
too
back's
much.
always been kind of a hard part for me, especially after having babies. It's like all that work you did for your entire life to get your core muscles, and then you have to like redo it, and it takes a lot of work. I mean, unless you're that person that just is totally fine eating broccoli and chicken for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a month or whatever, 2 months. I'm not that person. So like, it takes a little bit longer to like, re-engage those muscles that you use all the time. You just don't realize till you like put them to work how necessary it is to have strong ab muscles to support your lower back and all that stuff. So, but did the yoga help at all?
Yeah. So the next day I did yoga, and that really, really, really helped my lower back. I did a specific workout that was for like core and like lower back issues. And it worked out really well. I felt great afterwards. And now I think like the thing is like, if I feel like a little bit of like, tightening or like pinching in my back, I just stop. And if somebody asks me like, why are you stopping? Like, cause my back was starting to hurt, and I'm going to try not to hurt my back. Like, just is what it is. Like,
right.
Or I drop the weight down too. Because a lot of it is like my legs and my upper body can lift a lot, but my back can't support that weight. So
it's only because your abs can't support it yet.
Right. So we'll get there. But okay. So we have one, did you hear? And then we're going to get into our topic, which this week we're actually going to be talking about kind of the way the economy is affecting moms and kind of the direction that a lot of people are saying that the economy might be going into once we get on the other side of this pandemic. But before we get into that, our Did You See It for this week is going to be about this little boy. And if you have been at all on the internet in the past like 3 or 4 days, which I don't think you hadn't seen it.
Oh no, I saw it after I hadn't really like checked out any news stuff, which is why I hadn't seen it. So,
okay. So there's this little boy named Cannon Blake Hernandez, and I'm going to butcher his last name, but it's Hinnanants. And he basically is this little boy. His neighbor, who is friends with his family, apparently from what his dad said, their families had just hung out. This guy had just been sitting on the porch drinking beers with his dad the day before, and the little boy was playing outside in his front yard with his sisters, and this neighbor walked up to this little boy and just shot him in cold blood in his head when he was riding his bike. Now, obviously, that is like horrible. Like, we both have little boys that play outside.
Do we know why though? Like, what was this? So, I don't understand.
So I haven't looked into this any more than I did started yesterday, but as of yesterday, there was no motive. So we're recording this on Sunday. As of Saturday, the police hadn't released a motive as to why he shot this little boy. From what the dad said, he was like, I didn't have any problems with this guy. Like, we literally were just sitting on my patio yesterday drinking beer. Like, I'm confused as to why.
So the guy's probably like a psycho, literally a psychopath.
Yeah, he's also black, and this little boy is also white, and he's like 4 or 5 years old. So the only reason it's relevant, the race, is because people have started a hashtag called #SayHisName, which most people know with the Black Lives Matter movement. A lot of people have been coming out with statements that say her name. So basically, Say Her Name is about Breonna Taylor, and she was the woman who the police busted in her house because they thought they went to the wrong house and they killed her. Okay. Those police officers haven't been arrested for killing this woman for no reason, basically. Like, we've talked about this before. I get you accidentally went in the wrong house, got it, but you need to declare who you are, and you need to let her know and let her respond before you just go shooting people up. Makes no sense, right?
Right.
So anyways, people are saying people have issues with that. Obviously, it's been about 3 months. They haven't caught her killer. They haven't even like prosecute anyone, or even have a person of interest. I mean, they have person of interest because they know the cops, but they haven't like pressed any charges, nothing. So that said, this little boy, they knew who the neighbor was. The dad knows the guy. He saw him standing in his lawn. He shot his little boy. The dad went outside. He looked over. The guy was standing on his lawn with the gun in his hand, pacing. So we already know who the guy was. The guy ran. The police found him in 24 hours. That guy is sitting in jail right now. Breonna Taylor's still, nobody is still being charged. The police officers are still not charged.
There's also the police. The thing is that you need to make sure. Go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you get to the.
So I think what you were going to say was the biggest difference between these two situations, which was what was bothering me so much yesterday, is both situations are tragic, but they have nothing to do with each other. Black Lives Matter is about police brutality and the inequality,
incarceration of African Americans and inequality in the judicial system and all that. Nothing to do with this.
It has nothing to do with black on black crime or black on white crime or white on white crime. Has nothing to do with that. So the second thing people were saying was people are out here supporting George Floyd, and you and I went back and forth about George Floyd before because he was a
freaking criminal and a meth head.
Right, he was a criminal.
Should the cops have killed him? No. Should they have more self-control? Yes. But he was high as a freaking kite when the situation happened. So anyways, go ahead. We did. We did discuss this.
Yeah,
the police shouldn't have killed him, but he was still a criminal.
Right. So people are saying that, people were out here like martyring George Floyd and and then other people were saying because the George Floyd hashtag, his hashtag is not say his name. It's the say her name hashtag has to do with Breonna Taylor. So the relation that they're making is specifically Breonna Taylor. I've heard some people try to say it has something to do with George Floyd, and again, two separate situations. But it definitely has nothing to do with Breonna Taylor. This little boy getting murdered was horrible, but there's people every day that get murdered that has nothing to do with police brutality. So if we want to talk about,
honestly, if we're talking about the imbalance of racial injustice, the reason that if this was, I hate to say this out loud, if this was a little black boy and some crazy white man shot him, I doubt people would be losing their mind over it as much. Like, it would be sad, but there are little black kids getting shot still every freaking day in their neighborhoods, every single day in their neighborhoods. And people aren't out on the street going, say their name. No, nobody's saying anything. You're saying this because this black man shot this 5-year-old white boy, which is freaking awful and terrible. And the man should go I think he should get the death penalty because I have a 2-year-old son and I would lose. That man wouldn't have made it. If that man, with knowing our men, that man wouldn't have made it off the lawn.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it to the police station.
He wouldn't have made it, so they wouldn't have had the opportunity to catch him. Like, no, that wouldn't have happened. But with that said, you can't compare the two. You can't compare all crimes that African American white people are part of to Black Lives Matter because it doesn't all have to do with it. It's not all the same.
So if people were saying things like gun control, if people came out were saying something about gun control, or people were coming out and saying things about
make sure you're doing mental health tests on people that own guns or have guns.
Right. Or like having some sort of idea of the felons or the criminals. I don't know this man's history, this man who killed this little boy's criminal history.
Or mental history.
But people aren't out here just killing children because they're sane.
Right.
Okay. So like the thing that's sad is like this guy didn't even know it was his neighbor. Like that is crazy. Anyways, my point is it's a really sad situation. His family and everybody are in my prayers, but this has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. And if I hear one more person say it, I'm about to snap. Like, I'm for real. Like, I was yesterday, I was so hot. I was like, if one more person posts this little boy on my feed talking about Black Lives Matter, I'm about to lose it because it literally has nothing to do with it. Why can't we just post a story? And the thing that was, if you read this post that's going viral, people are saying things like, I'm not ashamed to be white. I'm not going to be ashamed to be white. They turned a situation that was horrible into a situation that suddenly had to do with race, and it has nothing to do with race. It was a crazy dude that killed this little boy for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Can we just let that be horrible? Can we just have like a sense of unity as humanity and as parents and as a community that anybody killing anybody's child is horrible? Black, white, purple, Asian, Korea, freaking, or, whatever.
Another thing too is these people like Breonna Taylor and George Floyd were grown, fully grown adults.
Yeah.
This is a 5-year-old child just playing in his yard. Like, that is what we should be focusing on. We should be focusing on that and how tragic that is. It doesn't matter that the little boy was white, purple, pink, orange. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. And it doesn't matter to me that he was a black man, because if it was a white man that murdered this little white boy, it would still be horrible. If he was Hispanic or Asian, it would still be horrifying. So the fact that people are just like, I hate Blake and I have this exact same thought of this. I hate when people bring race into something when it has literally nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
Like nothing, not a thing to do with race. Like I hate that. Like it's like when I wait on somebody in a restaurant, when I waited on somebody in a restaurant and they tried to pull the race card. How are you gonna pull the race card on me? How are you gonna pull the race card? Like,
yeah.
I'm black. Like, how are you gonna pull the race? No, if you're acting like a jerk or acting some type of way, and I address you in that way, then stop acting that way. It doesn't have anything to do with your race. Your behavior has nothing to do with your race. It's a choice in the way you want to behave. And all races and ethnicities have people that need to have mental issues, that have mental health problems. They have murderers. They have sex offenders. They have all the things.
It's about humanity in general.
Yeah. It's a humanity thing.
Okay. So that said, on that note, if you guys haven't already, and I fully plan on getting this book just because I'm interested in reading it, and I heard a podcast about the other day, there's a book out there called The Third Option by Miles McPherson. He happens to be one of the pastors of this huge church in San Diego called the Rock Church. And we have a lot of friends that go to that church as well. He's also an ex-NFL player. He played for the Chargers. He was a coke addict when he was in his 20s.
What's it called again, Twin?
The Third Option.
Okay, we're going to put a link to it in the description box.
Yes, we'll put a link to it in the description box. Please go listen to it. The book basically, you can listen to it on audiobook or you can read it. The book basically breaks down the fact that whatever color you are, it's a conversation about race. And it doesn't need to be this huge, it needs to be about finding the third option, not this side or that side. How can we come to the middle? I think it's a great book. It doesn't matter if you're black or white or whatever, it doesn't matter. I think we can all be more educated on situations of race. He actually, his grandfather is white. Both of his parents, one of his parents is biracial, the other one is black. So he has a lot of perspective on this. He has lots of family from both sides. So I would recommend going and reading that book because I think that will help a lot of people kind of understand the perspective. And also I think as people of color help us understand the other side to some extent as well. So anyways, that said, we're going to move on to our topic because I'm always excited to talk about motherhood topics, and specifically motherhood topics when it comes
and this is a topic that I came up with, so it's even better.
Yes. Yeah, because you and your psychology today.
We were watching too. So Blake has been making me listen to NPR radio here. So, and so like our topic about social media was from that. This one, they were talking a little bit about it on NPR radio, and they're also talking about it on CNN. So this is how this topic came about. But it's a fantastic topic for us to talk about because it has to do with women and parenting.
So also there was when you called me and we talked about this, I had just listened to a podcast talking about the politics behind this situation. I was going to a 6 a.m. class and I was listening to this podcast on the way to the class. And I was like, wow, this is fascinating. And then you said something to me about it. I was like, we are on the same page. So we just came together. Just perfect. So this is the perfect topic. We actually came with this topic 2 weeks ago, but we had a topic for last week already. So we're like, okay, this topic.
We can never have too many topics.
Yes. Okay. So you want to go ahead and talk about it and kind of go into in a little bit?
Yeah, I guess I can go into it a little bit. So basically our topic is, it's the article that I pulled from BBC.com is how COVID-19 is changing women's lives. So if you don't know what BBC is, it's obviously the British Broadcasting Network. So this article has a little bit of reference to like America, but also focuses quite a bit on European, what's going on in Europe. But
yes,
the fact that when I was reading it, I was just like, it's kind of nice to hear women talking about the exact same issues that we have here in America. And it gives like percentages and things that I mean, we can go over them, but like, we're not really that kind of podcast. We're not gonna like if you want to fact check us, please feel free to read the article that we're going to put in the description box. If you want to look at all the percentages of women, just know that it's high, it's a lot, and it's pretty sad. The amount of women that are having to stay home because COVID has forced children to have to be home. So all these people that started their families with either 2 sets of income or with the mom having a career or and the dad having a career, or they have a job where they're part-time. Like a lot of moms have jobs where like say they just work in like retail stores, restaurants, all those jobs are primarily female. So when you shut down an entire industry, an entire service industry, from housekeepers to nannies, all that stuff, that's a large portion of the female population in the workforce that doesn't have jobs anymore because
teachers also
shut down all these jobs. And so now what a lot of women are saying that they're concerned that it's going to basically all the work that women have done in the last 50 years, COVID is going to reverse a large portion of it. It does have a bright side. It does kind of go into, well, let's kind of look at it like, yes, that could happen, but it's kind of, for me, as a woman that's like, my goals aren't really to be like the executive in a corporate office, or like stuff like things like that would keep me from being able to be be with my family more. Things that I want to do would be like run a nonprofit or run in my own studio or whatever, things like that. But those would be around my own schedule. So, but if I made my schedule based on my kid being at school 8 hours a day, and then all of a sudden they're not in school 8 hours a day and they're not in high school,
Yeah.
literally that's all your time. And what's happening is the women are just automatically the ones that are staying home. They're automatically the ones that are working from home. If they can, but a lot of them can't work from home. So the mom is quitting, the wife is quitting, or mom, it doesn't have to be wife, but is quitting her job to stay home with her kids. And whoever the male person is in their household, he's still working his job.
Yeah.
And he's not staying home.
And the big thing about it too is like, okay, so there's a couple of things. One is, so there are a lot of households where both of the spouses and it's okay. So for a point of reference, the women that they're talking about in this study, it's not just women who like are making the second income, like the secondary income. A lot of it, especially if you live in San Diego,
equal or more.
It's equal income or more. And these women are still leaving their jobs or having to cut down their hours. There's a statistic in here that says that women are on average losing 15 hours a week of work when they're both making the same income.
It's an extra three. So they're doing more than, like, instead of it being half and half, where the man has like your kids like 3 hours a day and you have your kids 3 hours a day, the women are doing like 5 out of the 6 or 7 hours a day that they have their kids during work hours. So they're doing more of that. So they're losing more hours of work and work time than the men are, because their jobs are being prioritized, which is a very 1950s way of looking at it. But
yeah. And I also think that, like, so there's a couple of issues with this. One, I would hope that these women are communicating with their spouses, because sometimes when I read these articles, I think like, okay, women, like, we're out here just complaining, like the men aren't doing anything. Like, are you holding him accountable? Like, are you sitting him down and going, hey, we make the same amount of money. We bring in the same amount of money. I pay half the bills. You pay half the bills. We made these kids together. You on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they're my responsibility. Tuesday, Thursday, they're your responsibility if they need something. Or you get a block of time. I get 9 to 3 or 9 to 12 or whatever. And after we take a lunch break, you've got them in the rest of the day or something. Or, hey, I have a really important conference call today. Can you watch them for an hour and schedule your conference call for after mine?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, there needs to be more communication. We can't just be out here just blaming all the men and all the dads. Because to be honest, like, I feel like if I was working a job and Derek was working a job and we were making equal amounts of money, the conversation would be, hey, I'm not trying to lose my job. We matter of fact, we can't afford for you to lose my job. So we both need to be splitting this thing 50-50. Now, if your household is already set up for one income, like our home is set up right now for one income, it's not necessary for me to work if I don't want to or have to, which right now I don't have to. So which is a blessing, but there was a time where we were both working, and the childcare was hard when we were both working, when there was childcare, because
you had Christian.
Contrary to what people think, like, childcare was already hard. Like, people are like, oh, school just solved all of it. No, it didn't. It only solved it if you have school age kids. So if you don't have,
it's summer. It's been summer. Like, COVID started in March. Like, I mean, and kids they didn't officially close. I think they did the full quarantine or whatever on March 16th. So April, May,
that was 3 months of no school.
3 months of no school during the school year, plus the summer that they would already have not been in school. So
but also what happens in the summer for people that work, they send their kids to camp all day, or they send them to sleepaway camp, or the YMCA has all day camps, things like that, where people, that's what I'm saying. Childcare wasn't out here just everybody had childcare. It was already hard. And so now it's like, and so this is one of the things that I think is going to be positive about it. One of the things is now if you can, maybe they never considered having, a lot of families never considered having one income.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, there's no way we could do it. There's no way we can have one income. Maybe there's some moms out there, they're like, I would never homeschool. Now they're homeschooling and they're like, oh,
actually, I like this.
It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can actually do this. We have so much more flexibility, you know? Maybe there's people, and then I know there's people on the other side that are like, we can't afford it. There's so many situations with like low income families, people not eating in certain situations
Kids
where they
don't
don't have
have
an
meals.
affluent, yeah, they don't have an affluent school district. So they're the technology, you know, we take for granted. Like one of my
Wi-Fi and
friends
tablets and
one of my friends just bought his daughter a freaking MacBook Pro for to do school on. And he was like, well, it was a good investment because it's great. And yeah, obviously
she'll have that thing till she goes to college.
Exactly. To me, that's a great investment. She's 13 or something. I'm like, she's about to have this when she graduates college. So awesome. They last forever. So to me, that's a great investment. That would have been honestly an investment that I probably would have made going into high school, the end of middle school anyways. Right.
Right.
But now the fact that she has to sit in front of a screen for the entire day, you know, it's kind of like, you had to make that investment anyways. Now, not everybody has the money to just be dropping $2,000 on their kid's MacBook. You know what I'm saying? They also don't have the ability to buy school supplies. For some people, school supplies, like us, 5 kids worth of school supplies. 5 kids. You know how much that is? That's a lot. That's like $700.
I was looking, it's amazing, like the things that you notice as an adult. Like Blake and I are walking down the school supply aisle, which, by the way, I have never seen the school supply aisle in Walmart full.
So full?
In August.
It's so full.
It is sad. Like it's.
I'm going to go and buy all of Phoenix's craft stuff. I need to go to Walmart and buy all the markers, all the crayons, all the.
Because it's all really cheap right now because they're trying to get rid of all of it. But it's just weird looking at it and like looking at the prices of it. And I literally walked by and I was like, how in the heck did our mother do 4 kids worth of schools? And we were always like so stoked about the school supplies. I'm sure mom was going, how in the world am I going to?
And we wanted to get the
school supplies,
the expensive that cost like $2.
Yeah, the least, but $2 times 5 times 8 or whatever. How many classes we had?
And we wanted those expensive zip binders that had all the divider. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We wanted all the things, and you just like, it's a kid, you just don't realize that all the things cost a lot of money. And it's hard to like, I guess as a parent to really like explain that. And like, you really have, not that Ashley and I were just like spoiled brats and we didn't understand like the, you know, the value of $1. We understood that. It was just when you're a kid, it's just like, you get so excited about like getting all those things, and just like getting school supplies for one kid, or making sure like Landon starts growing out of his clothes. Now we have to go buy new clothes, whatever. Like you start budgeting. I instantly start budgeting things in my head as soon as like, we got to go buy. I'm like, we ran out of ranch today. How much is ranch? Ranch is gonna be. Should we get the Walmart brand, or should we get the like the really like the $4 brand of ranch this time, or should we just get? It's probably tastes about the same. Like that's literally. I just instantly start budgeting things in my head. But anyways, I feel like one positive for me is I honestly, you and I are kind of, and I think we agree on this, but we're very much a fan when you have kids of like a traditional household. So I feel like it's great for their kids. And obviously we were talking about households that are not in like super low income situations where they're not even sure their kids are going to eat type situations. But for me, I feel like it's positive for a lot of households to have one parent that has to be there, has to be home. You're not just sending your kids off to school for 8 hours and then you're putting them in the room, making them do their homework, they eat dinner, they go to sleep, you don't see them and then they take the bus. Like some of these kids would literally get up, make themselves breakfast, get on the bus, go to school for 8 hours, get on the bus home, make their dinner. Their parents would show up at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and they would do homework and go to sleep. And they barely saw their parents, except for on the weekends maybe, and they would probably go hang out with their friends on the weekends. So they're missing all this time in their kids' growing up, and now they're getting to spend like the significant amount of time with their kids, which hopefully is nurturing and growing these relationships with your kids. Hopefully people are really getting to know their kids now because they're forced to spend so much time with them. And I say forced because when you are literally forced to stop your life, like when we quarantined, that literally stopped everyone's life.
Yeah.
Like, no bones about it. Like, unless you worked from home already, there was a transition period where your company was trying to figure out if you could even work from home and whatever. So you had a good 2 or 3 weeks where your life was just your house, your kids, and your family. And that to me, I feel like is like a beautiful part about COVID. about the quarantining situation that was going on, but when it comes to moms and like mothers and finances and women, just not even moms, but women also, because it could also be like women without kids, because kids aren't the only factor that would make, like, what if she lost her job because she had a part-time job and her husband's still working his job and now she doesn't have a career, or have like all the work she put into her job or her career has been put on hold because she works in one of those places like retail, or works either in a restaurant or retail or these female dominated industries, and now she doesn't have a job.
Well, what about people too that were outsourcing all of these things? Like, if you are a two-income household and or both of you are young, say you're both young professionals, right? And now you're both working from home, okay? There are still things that have to get done in the house, regardless. Which,
Right.
if we're being honest, if you're both two working couples, you're probably outsourcing a lot. You're probably outsourcing your cleaning.
Laundry,
you're probably outsourcing
cleaning.
your laundry. You're probably outsourcing your dog walking. All of these things. Well, now you're home. Your housekeeper's not coming. You can order your groceries. Your dog walker's not coming. Like, who now we have to have a conversation like, okay, we were paying people to do this before. It has to get done. Who's going to do it? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to take care of the dishes? Who's going to figure out what we're going to eat? We're just going to we're not out here ordering food every single day.
I don't care how much money you have, you're not ordering out every single day. That's that's such a waste of money. It's so expensive.
Exactly. So it's definitely a situation where I think, I guess to like kind of like sum it up, when it comes to like gender roles situations, a lot of people are having to have these tough conversations with their spouse, hopefully having these tough conversations with their spouse where it's like, hey, I'm not going to do everything. We both work. And even I'm in a household where we both don't work. I'm still not out here doing 100% of the freaking child.
You both don't work.
No, I'm saying, or that's not what I meant. I don't work. That's not what I meant.
Both of you aren't working. One of you is working.
Yes, both of us. Yeah, that's what I meant. Both of us aren't working. I'm not working. He's working. We're not a household where both parents are working, which is what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yes.
So with that situation, there's still conversations where it's like, hey, these are some things I need help with. These are some things that, I need you to help me with. Or with Phoenix, even still, I'm not out here solo parenting every single day. Like, when Derek's home, just because he wants to spend time with him, he wants to take care of him. Derek helps with cooking. He helps with a lot of things. Do we always agree on like the separation of the home, of the household duties? No, but we communicate about it. And that's the thing that I would say, if you're a mom out there and you're feeling like, I'm giving up my entire life right now because of COVID, please communicate with your spouse and have a hard conversation to say, hey, what are we going to do? And I feel like I feel for everybody that's having to have those conversations, because I'm sure it's probably really, really hard and stressful to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
So anyways, that said, okay, I want to start this new segment, okay, that I literally thought about in the shower yesterday, like, for real. I was like in the shower, and when I text you this segment, I was literally in the shower because I didn't want to forget. I was like, I might not forget. Okay, so the new segment is going to be Go Girl or No Girl. So it's about something this week that we won at and something this week that we failed at, or we feel we failed at. So I will go first, unless you have something like right off the top of your head.
Nope.
Okay. I want to see like what you come up with, because I think it's going to be so funny. Okay. So my Go Girl is me, Derek, and Phoenix this morning went to the class together as a family. Finally convinced him to go. And the thing that was great about it was that Derek thought we were going to a 6 a.m. class today. And he was still down to go. Like, he thought we were going to a 6 a.m. class until last night. I told him, like, no, babe, the class doesn't start till 8. So I was like so happy. I was like, babe, you were going to go with me and you thought we had to get up and take Phoenix at 6 a.m. And you were still trying to come. So I feel like I was very happy that we went as a family to this class, because I just want him to see like how good I'm doing, and like I feel really like strong and happy. And yeah, so that's my Go Girl. Do you have one?
I got through my first week of intermittent fasting.
Woo!
Yes, I did. So yeah, so that was good. It was good. It's just like, it was good. It's just it's not much different. It's not much different, but it's different enough. Like you don't realize those extra 2 hours, like because normally I don't eat till around 9 or 10 anyway. But those extra 2 hours between 10 and noon are a struggle bus for me.
Yeah.
Like it was hard. So, but anyways, yes. But I did great. I was happy about it. I was super excited that I made it through my first week. So, yeah. So that's I guess
Okay,
it's my.
so what do you have a no girl?
Oh yeah, that I screwed it up because we went to go see Bo on was that last Friday night? Friday night, yeah. Because I started my fasting on a Wednesday, so Wednesday was my week, my full week. And Thursday I did great, and then Friday I didn't eat till noon, and then we had dinner at Bo's house, and the chicken and dumplings she made weren't done till freaking 7:50 or something.
Oh no.
So I ended up just being like, all right, just gonna have to start new the next day. So I did it. I was good yesterday, and then Blake went to Dunkin' Donuts to get coffee because he ran out of coffee. So he went to go get coffee, he brought donut holes, and I was just sitting there with Landon, and I was just like, oh, donut holes. Looked at the clock, I was like, it's freaking 10 o'clock.
Oh.
I was like, crap. So that was mine. But I feel like you just have to you just got to start. Tomorrow's Monday. Start fresh. Yeah. Oh, we did also work out. Blake and I also worked out this week too, like 2 or 3 times. So we've been trying to be really active. So
Nice.
that count.
Yeah, that counts. Okay, so my no girl, let's see. Yesterday, which I don't know if this is a go girl or no girl, but yesterday, Phoenix and I literally sat on the couch. I didn't prepare one whole meal. I think we ate chips the whole day. We only went outside to walk salsa, and that is it. I was like so done by Saturday. Like I was so tired. We had done all these activities all week. Phoenix wanted to go to the pool. We got ice cream. We did this. Friday we were gone from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I was like, so Saturday he was like, can we go for a bike ride? I was like, nope. He was like, can we go out? Can we do this? Nope. We can sit right here on this couch. We can watch television. You can play with your trains. That is what we're gonna do. So that we could have done something. I was just so tired. So yeah, that's my no girl. So I'm gonna try to like,
I feel like that's a go because yeah, I mean I was by the time literally by Saturday yesterday, I was like I looked at the house. The house is a mess. I was like, and Blake's like, well, he's like, you said you went to the park today, and I was like, I did, but then we didn't get home till 11:30 from Bo's. And that we have like 17 million loads of laundry and the kitchen's a mess. We haven't swept in 3 days. Like we really need to get some household maintenance stuff done today. And it was supposed to like rain on and off. And I was like really not trying to get caught in like rain here because it just rains. It's a lot of rain. So yeah, no, I'm all for sometimes it's just
chill
necessary.
Day.
Just shut it down day, which I love.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So let us know if you guys like the new segment. I think that as the weeks go on, as we think of stuff, we'll have like really good ones. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm totally going to talk about this in the podcast. So, but that said, thank you guys so much for listening. Please hit the bell.
Yes.
If you're watching on YouTube, hit the bell, subscribe, share it with somebody. If you're listening, please hit that 5th star and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Spotify and any other streaming services that you might use. And yeah, I think that's it. So we'll talk to you guys later.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.